the depths of Nephalia, he began his tale. A rebel soul who dared to challenge the veil.
All right, welcome to Tibalt's Apprentice. Real, this one's for you and for anybody that's maybe new to Arena and new to start playing. Contrary to what you may have heard or been suggested by MTG Hillbilly today on Superfast Tortoise's podcast, or a video blog, or morning coffee, whatever you want to call it, I am not a disc doctor, a deck doctor, a doctor of any sort. Sometimes I can see where there's holes in people's decks or whatever, but I appreciate the compliment. I appreciate the shout out. Shout out to those guys. They're great guys. You should follow them. MTG Hillbilly mentioned a card that was going to be good to add to this deck, considering what we wanted to do. We kind of wanted to lean into the sacrifice aspect of it. And with that in mind, I don't want to change the deck too much, but I changed it just a little bit. Now, people peeking at your hand is going to be something that they're going to do. Obviously, they were scared of me drawing cards, so I don't mind if they take that because I've got other ways that I'm going to be able to draw cards or get value out of that sacrifice, out of those creatures that are going to die. And I had noticed that that's what you wanted to do to begin with, so we tried a few artifacts. I'm trying this card. I never really get to use it. But I thought we need more mana, and what I didn't like about the first iteration of this deck was we didn't get to our Vein Rippers, we didn't get to our big cards fast. We need fast mana, we need stuff on there. So I tried doing a couple of things that would get more mana onto the board, and I wanted to still keep that sacrifice element. I make a few decisions. You can see again, like they're looking at my hand and they don't like what I got going on there, and that's okay if I have some removal in the deck so I can get those cards back. So that's why we've got to go for the throat and things like that that are already in there. Again, we're trying to get slow value out of this. I'm going to go ahead and draw some cards. I'm hoping to get some removal, some targeted removal. That's not targeted, but I can at least choose. Let's put a little bit of pressure on them. Keep them down. Keep them. All right, well, they're not going to do that. This I can at least choose to have them get rid of. Oh, see, they don't want me to get that card back. I could choose to not have it get the token, and that's what I did. They chose to keep that card from me, and I appreciate that. Looks like they're building up. They're going for a wider board state. Okay, it's all right. We can get a little bit of life back. That Vein Ripper was enough. You see a lot of losses up there in the corner because, again, I've been tinkering with the deck, doing a little bit here and there. But MTG Hillbilly suggested, again, on Superfast Show this morning, that maybe a Forge would be a good thing to put in here. I'm going to take a few minutes because I know it took me a couple of minutes to figure it out, how much that was, because I haven't used that card a lot myself. But that did seem like a good way to go. An artifact, something that created creatures, killed creatures. It was going to lean heavily into what you wanted to do when you first made this deck. This is another artifact that I like that's going to give you cards for cards dying. It's going to give you cards for creatures dying. This is... I'm not sure. I have a lot of complex feelings about Arena as a place for new players because it sometimes leads to an unrealistic aspect of the game of expecting what you're going to get. I'm always going to say playing in paper is better, but I understand that not everybody has that opportunity, and so this might be your only exposure. So I think it's great that, and again, I'm talking to Real, and then anybody else that's just tuning in to Arena, getting into Magic. It's best if you could talk with or play with other people. I know MTG Hillbilly is a great person to play with. It is open to play arena games. It's fun if it's somebody that you know that you could talk to a little bit. Again, that's going to sound like an advertisement for just these guys. But if you want to hang out with Superfast Tortoise, he's building a great creep of friends. Sounds weird calling him a creep, but that's a tortoise thing. You can check it and ask him about that. Ask him about that in the comments. I'm sure he'll be happy to explain it to you. Getting into the next game, I'm going to tell you right now, this game does not go well for me. But they're at 21 life, we're at 20. Watch what happens during the game. And I feel good showing this because it demonstrates somebody else having a well thought out plan, a well executed combo. Not that this isn't, but this is a work in progress. And it would be easy to lose to decks like this and get discouraged. My point is, we as a group, and you as a person, you're collaborating with other people. You're building this deck up. You're building it and crafting it into what you want. I hope to help with that, and there's the suggestion to Hillbilly right there. And that creature popping in and popping out throughout there is going to give you more value throughout the gameplay. And he is taking that out right now. Like I said, this guy is obviously working for a specific strategy, and it's a pretty good one. So I think that it's something that I would do, but we're getting to the creatures that we need. We're going to get a chance to cast these big baddies, the 5 and 6 mana cost creatures. I've got some removal in my hand. He doesn't seem to have a lot of creatures in the deck, so obviously there's a combo that he's going for. I may have made a poor choice in the creature that I chose to remove, but the idea of bringing all the lands back from the graveyard, that can be scary, especially when it's these bounce lands. You can get lots of value out of that. So you need to be quiet. My wife just joined in and said, it did sound rude. Hey, I'm trying to give a new player good advice, and you're telling him bad stuff.
I just said bounce lands are great.
She said bounce lands are great. Well, she's talking.
Combos are a weenie way to win.
And combos are a weenie way to win. That's what she said. Well, anyhow, she's guilty of both. I'm guilty of both. And there's that vein ripper that we were looking for. Anyhow, what she's talking about bounce lands is something a little bit different than these bounce lands. But ouch, that wiped the board. Very nice. I like what they're doing, but we're concentrating on what we're doing. I've got them down to 8. So obviously this deck has a lot of potential. It can do stuff. So I think we're on our way to building. Wow. I was very distracted there for a moment. We won't go into that. Anyhow, getting a chance to cast these big creatures, which I wasn't before. I am doing it now. Got them down to 8. I think that's as low as it's going to go. I think they're going to combo off, but you can see that the addition of that Forge in there is going to give you some value to the creatures that you wanted to play. I believe that people should be able to play the cards that they want to. I think with a little bit of work, this deck is going to do some pretty amazing things. So we're gonna keep working at that if you're up for it and stuff. I'm happy to help, and if this is really help, which I don't know what it is, but it's giving me some cheap content to put up. Just kidding. Anyhow, this guy's getting his value combo going right now. You can see my computer doesn't like that. It's like going to time out in a minute. Not really, but this is actually when I'm typing to you. I made a couple comments on your video and you replied, and I replied to yours. So this is taking place as you were typing to me. How about that? It's a little bit of real life interaction there. Anyhow, so it's going to take a long time. This is where I've got a chance to take out that creature. But this guy's going for all the value, and he's going to wipe me out in a single turn. So I like what's going on there. I think play with these additions and play as much as you possibly can, but play with friends. I don't want to encourage anybody using a safe space or that kind of stuff, but ouch, that was deadly. Anyhow, I still had fun, and I'm willing to admit it. And I think this deck has great potential. The safe space being play with friends that you can talk to, play with people that are actually going to give you feedback on your deck. Not everybody has that, but I am there. madsaxxon 17027, number 17027. You can always add me as somebody. I don't get on there to play as much. In fact, I had kind of stepped away from Arena until this. You've kind of given me a mission and a purpose, so I appreciate that. Anyhow, quick look at the deck. The deck list will be in the show notes. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
But then I found a secret trick to turn the tide and make them sing. No more expensive cards, no more fancy bling. I went all in with my budget swing, forsaking the idea of what I had. Rose up is the budget.